Alright, what's up, YouTube and SoundCloud? It's Yada from Team Knightmare. We're going to be coming at you with a topic that is very, the main focus of this game, and it's just about the G Zone. G Guardians. Uh, I really see that it's kind of hard to kill people nowadays, and with the two sides of the same sword. Games are lasting either a lot longer or a lot shorter than they normally would without the G Guardians. So without further ado, again, Cohen, take it away.
Okay, so as we know, G Guardians are about to be released in Fighters Collection 2016, and a lot of the G Guardians they allow for
2016.
They allow for you drop a hill trigger, you get a G Guardian. A G Guardian is a G unit that allows for defense, obviously, you know, and how regular G units they're for offense in a sense, where you drop check you net cards. G Guardians are your defensive cards, where you're stuck with. Let's say you're stuck with a hill trigger in your hand or a few hill triggers. Oh crap! You obviously have to use those as your 10k guards, or in some cases you have to use those to stride. It's a bit wonky, but with G Guardians, they're used as a defense mechanism, where either they're clan specific or they're Cray elementals, where they can be used in any clan. Now, to me, I feel as though in the game state of Cardfight Vanguard, G Guardians are a great asset to have in this card game.
Except when your Lambros first turn, that stuff is annoying. Oh man, I can't even explain to you how annoying that is. But on the flip side, I can ace somebody first turn, or I can next stage somebody first turn. Both are actually what's on my bucket list. I want to kill somebody first stride. But yeah, this G Zone stuff, the G Guardians. Alright, so again, our first actual main topic is G Guardians, their effect on the game. They're having a very, no matter which way you put it, it's a positive effect. Like, you can say, oh, certain aspects of how you were go about to get a W against certain clans or certain player, or how do you use your deck. Oh man, G Guardians just make it so you can't do this. Oh, it's so broken. That's a good thing. Like, nobody wants to die to something that they can't really fight off. Like, when I was playing Morokumo with Yasuie, our Shadow Paladin player, before even Diablo support was even a thing, he would always, straight up Phantom Blaster me. And no matter how hard I worked to have rear guards, he would always win due to Phantom Blaster. And that was really deal with it. Hey gang, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. You're fine.
Alright, cool. Somebody just tried to call me. But yeah, back to my point, like, it's G Guardians. I know in that case, it's, not the same as whether or not you can survive a turn or you can keep a unit from dying. It's just the fact that G Guardians allow so much access to something that would normally take time, or normally would take ample amount of plays to set up. And when you don't have those plays to set up, you kind of fall short. It's like, well, fuck, what am I supposed to do here? Whatever I pull out these genes, But yeah, again, the G Guardians and their effect on the game. What are your thoughts about this?
Okay, so like I was saying before, G Guardians and their effect on the game, it's for a positive effect. G Guardians have a positive effect on the game state, where they allow for a generation break. One skills to be active while you're at grade 2. Let's say for some odd reason your opponent gets a critical that you don't want to take while you're both in grade 2. Okay, you can throw out a generation guard. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm lying. You both have to be a grade 3. That's my first mistake. All right.
Yeah.
So let's say your opponent gets double critical on their grade 3 unit. Okay, on the grade 3 Vanguard. So you don't want to take that 3 damage right there. You're not going to say no guard to that, so you throw a generation guard. Okay, your opponent's with 2 criticals. Let's say they assign the power and the critical to their Vanguard. Alright, their Vanguard's at 21 and 2 crit.
Yeah. Yeah. So with these, I'm sorry, with these G Guardians, sorry to cut you off, but with these G Guardians, like, do you think it's fair that, all right, so let's get into the specific type of G Guardian. Let's move away from the point, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but where we'll put into perspective Kagero's Generation Guard against Aquaforce's Generation Guard. Wow, the first battle and the second battle, you gain +5 to block an attack. What about if you're going up against Victor, where they're restanding like 6-7 times? Or, what if you're going up against Pale Moon, Alice variant, when they're like, Alice is just trying to push your stuff in, constantly? Or what if you're going up against, like,
up against Phantom Blast. Let's use Phantom Blaster Diablo for a change. Phantom Blaster Diablo, you're a Kagero player. Alright, I'm gonna throw out this G Guardian that's gonna counterblast 1 and pop your attacking rear guard.
Yeah, but Phantom Blaster, before we throw out the G Guardian for Phantom Blaster, we also got to remember that we have to retire 2 units. That's why I brought up the fact that Murakumo is kind of falling short when you're going up against somewhat meta clans, somewhat like tier 2 and above clans. But yeah, I do understand what you're saying. But continue.
Most definitely. So I feel as though specific G Guardians to specific clans like the Aqua Forest, where they give +5 here, or where that's the Kagero also has a G Guardian that gives +5 if your opponent has 4 or less rear guards. Mind you, that comes in handy to keep your opponent from essentially overwhelming you with power, unless their power is greater than the G Guardian than the base of the G Guardian, I should say. I can say that with G Guardians, in a sense, they allow for you to get off your Generation Break skills before you essentially stride. They allow you to get off your let's say you have a GB2 unit, or I'm sorry, let's say you have a GB1 unit on board. Okay, that unit's just sitting there, like let's use for instance Flame Dancer or Dragon Dancer Monica, the grade 1 that gives +3k if you have a Flame Dragon Vanguard or rear guard.
Oh no, her effect is if she's boosting a Flame Dragon, she gets +3, so she's a 10k boost for only Flame Dragons, whether it be the rear guard or Vanguard.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get into, where that unit gets +3, or they have other units specifically, like let's say other units specifically, like
when you say other units specifically, what units are you trying to throw into the mix here? Because I can help you brainstorm some of these units. What are you trying to actually say about this?
Okay, I'm playing Overlord. I want to get off my own deck skill. Oh crap, I gotta wait till GB1 to search out my Overlord Vanguard. Oh crap.
Okay.
What shall I do now? Oh wait, I just played a G Guardian last turn. Even though we're both at grade 3, and I don't want to give up my grade 2s in my hand, or my grade 2, my grade 1s in my hand, or I don't have enough to stride with. Specifically, I don't want to give those units up. So alright, the G Guardian just allowed me to get another grade 3 to my hand with Index's skill at GB1.
Mm-hmm.
I can put that into the soul. I can counterblast. Put
Yeah.
Index into the soul. Go search out an overlord. All right, that just got me a free overlord, basically.
Yeah, but you know you can't stride after you do that, right?
Yeah, I'm aware that I can't stride after I use that skill, but I'm saying that, for instance,
Yeah.
after I draw
For utility.
and use the for utility's sake, it allows me to deck thin in with that specific unit, with Index specifically. Let's say another reason. I was just recently researching a Kagero card. Let's see, it is called Dragon Knight Ahmad. Dragon Knight Ahmad. Dragon Knight Ahmad's skill says Counterblast 1 when your opponent's rear guard in the same column as this unit is put into the drop zone due to the effect of one of your cards, you may pay the cost, which is the Counterblast 1. And at the end of the unit, until the end of the turn, it gets +2. Okay, at the beginning, and it gets the auto rear guard skill. At the beginning of the damage step, if that unit attacks, if Dragon Knight Ahmad attacks, and if the number of your opponent's guardians is 1, choose one of your opponent's guardians, retire it, and that unit's effects with cannot be hit is nullified. Okay, so that means that for potentially an 11k interceptor that just gets +2 if you meet
it's toast.
If you meet that requirement. Alright, that's 11. That's an 11 body coming at your potentially, let's say, grade 3 Vanguard. That's coming at your grade 3 Vanguard. Alright, you try to I'm gonna throw it this 5k. Oh, okay. Ahmad says, alright, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill that thing. Or let's say you try to intercept. Oh, I'm gonna kill that thing. What are you gonna do? Oh wait, I just intercepted with specifically Armor of the Flame Dragon bar, where bar skill is choose a grade 3 Flame Dragon, put it at the bottom of your deck, and intercept with it. It gets in that unit, the bar gets +10k shield until the end of their battle. Oh wait, I can retire a bar. You just intercepted. You just lost a card, and I'm still coming at you with this 11k.
All right, so the kind of losing your point here. So is your point that G Guardians allow all of this to happen, even if you're not per se in stride? Because if so, that shit is really powerful. To be able to utilize most of your deck when you're not in stride, where Generation Break used to be only for when you're in stride or when after you stride and stuff like that, to allow you this gateway by cutting a corner or two, give or take, is very powerful, and it shifts the momentum of the game. And whoever is at Generation Break, whoever is allowing their deck to function in a way that it's not necessarily supposed to, that power is now shifted into that person's favor, just because they guarded the opposing player, whether they're at grade 3 or whether they strode. It's remarkable. And I love how the game has made these generation guards for this specific aspect. And how you said, now I can do all of this to you without being able to necessarily stride. And even if I don't want to throw out these grade 2s and potentially a grade 3 that I might need to fight you with, just generation guarding the previous turn has allowed me gateway access to my deck. Well, part of it if you're running GB2s and stuff like that. But yeah, very remarkable. I love what Bushiro did. I think that some generation guards, which they are, should be a little bit more amped. Like how he said, the new Gold Paladin, I think it's Sleemy, right? You put a unit that you control to your deck, and then you get to superior call 2 units from your deck to the board, whether it be guard circle or rear guard circle. and you get +5.
Yeah.
That is great.
It's
Oh my god.
it's
Yes. Oh my goodness. Greatness. But yeah, so if you don't mind us moving forward into our next topic, it is G zone, the G zone increase, and the role of increasing the G zone of this game.
okay.
Uh,
So with the with the introduction of G Guardians, Bushiroad decided that okay, players need an increase in their G zones from 8 to 16. All right,
I don't
now
know why they made that leap.
yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out for myself. I just feel like they did that to see what players would do, how players would utilize their G zone to help their clans specifically, where you don't have, let's say, I'm gonna use Kagero again for an example, where you want to use certain Kagero cards, but you have to before the G zone increase, you would have to cut specific cards such as your Novell VGL Express to 2, or you would run it at 4, or some of the more obscure cards like your Blizzards, you would have to cut those out to save room for stronger cards, more beneficial cards in your G zone. With the increase of
Yeah.
the G zone, that means that you can have your basic, if you will, G units up to your more complex grade GB1 units and your GB2 units. That allows for more pressure on your opponent to get them.
Yeah. Yeah. That G zone increase, bro. I honestly, I mean, I can kind of see why in terms of play, why it's 16, double the size, because you got to think about this. There is a lot of good strides that Persona blasts, and they're so good that some people will go into it when it's not optimal to. But then again, the next go around, depending on the board or depending on the game state, they will go into that same stride again. That now the game state has called for this stride. My instance will be Homer Raider and Morikuma. You would first Doom Train or use this new Fighters Collection card and then go into Homer Raider. Or if you G Guardian, you will Homer Raider first. And then, try to get some cards or get as much advantage as you can while netting cards. You will try to fight your opponent in the most optimal play as possible. And then you will go into another Homer Raider or probably a different stride to put somebody in a Homer Raider position and then Homer Raider. Either way is good. But what I'm getting at is the G zone increase has made it so that, this specific cap of G zone increase has made it so that players don't have to sacrifice cards, most cards. They don't have to sacrifice most cards. They don't have to change up most of their decks. They don't have to, rack their brain about how do I fight this as well as fight that? How do I prep my deck for this as well as fight everything? Because what I do, personally, and this is my opinion, what I do is that when I fight, a couple of people, whether it be in Virginia, whether it be in New York, whether it be in Philadelphia, when I fight card fighters, I do like to see versatility. Yes, I do like to see versatility, and I do like to see how when I play one person that's playing the clan and then I go to play this a second person who's playing the exact same clan, they are playing something kind of different. I do like this, and if the G zone increase wasn't 16, I do feel as though player personality would be compromised, because now it's like when prime example again, you're familiar when I played Next Stage. I hate Chronojet, but you remember when I played Next Stage. If Bushiroad would have introduced G Guardians and did not increase the G zone, people would be playing 2 Next Stage, or possibly they would cut out almost everything for 4 next stage, 4 GD Guardians, and no. What am I talking about? They'll possibly I don't understand why I said that. They will possibly play 4 next stage, 1 G Guardian, or possibly two and 2 other strides. Their first stride would be Metallica Phoenix and probably, the other setup with what's that card? Chronos Command? Yeah, Chronos Command, and probably 2 G Guardians. Just to have next stage access in you know, a very potent next stage turn. This G zone increase, as my final point, the role that it plays in the game is very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's better than miraculous. It's very vital, I guess. This G zone increase and how they implemented cards that need to flip themselves, cards that play into the mechanics of the deck that you're, going in, the decks that you're using to go to these events, the decks that, the cards that interact with the grade 3 or greater Vanguard and stuff like that. I love what Bushiro did with this G zone increase, and the role that it plays in the game is very vital. And I do see that strides are now flipping other things instead of persona flipping, or they're having a heavier cost of counterblast and soul blasting, which a lot of strides are now using a lot of soul, which is very intriguing to me because there isn't, back in when G series first came out, there was not a lot of strides utilizing soul. Soul was not really a big thing. It was very key in, like, Genesis, Dark Irregular, and a couple of other things. But yeah, it's just very good. What do you think about this, Jay?
Okay, so I kind of have a theory revolving around the whole generation break G units, basically. With the increase of the G zone from 8 to 16, okay, we're gonna see more cards that have the GB2 ability that do something crazy, like for instance,
Yep.
So for instance, Dragonic Overlord's G unit or Novell Express, where they both have G2 abilities that are and okay, we're gonna see more powerful G units released in the near future. All right, what's the contingency plan? What's Bushiroad's contingency plan for players that want to fight against those more powerful units? Okay, we're gonna introduce G Guardians. All right, now to tie that back in, I feel as though this is just a theory. This is a theory of mine where
Okay,
so a lot of the limit break cards, they're not really seeing much play because of generation break. More strides are coming out for respective decks. More decks are relying on strides rather than going into, okay, I'm gonna limit break. I'm gonna wait till I get to limit break, or I'm gonna play certain cards so I can utilize my limit break and then try to kill you that way. Or basically, let's say they'll introduce generation break forward cards that require a certain criteria that, okay, you have to have this many G units or something or other like that, or you have to be at this amount of damage. It's going to be something crazy. I want to see Bushiro push players' potential to see what players can do with a full 16 card G zone. Let's say they make that GB4 stride unit. Alright, if they make that GB4 stride unit, what does that mean for limit break players? Are limit break players going to have some kind of advantage? Can I play Dauntless in my Overlord the Ace deck and do a limit break, restand my Vanguard, and attack you again and attack you up to 3 times with using the Ace's skill as well? Or can I stride into something?
You mean the legend? You mean the legend?
Yes, I mean
because the ace is the stride.
I'm sorry, Dragonic Overlord the Legend. I got kind of excited because that's how it is with me. Like it's crazy. Like, okay, we're gonna Bush was like, all right, we're gonna make GB1 a lot easier for players. Okay, the game state's gonna focus more on. I want to say it's focusing more on GB2 cards, to whereas they're gonna make more and more powerful cards as the series continues, as the card games gets more popular, as more people play it, as more people go to worlds and regionals around. Like, it's just gonna be insane.
So let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
You said something about Limit Break, and Limit Break was a very, very fun format for most clans. Well, some clans, not all. All right, so you said there will probably be a requirement for very key strides or very good strides. You know, having a key stride and having a good stride is two different things. Having a key stride is next stage. Having a good stride, it's all right. A good stride is Metallica fitness. So, back on topic with this, the requirements for these theoretical GB4 and above or special requirement strides, I don't know where Bushiroad will be coming from, because this 16 card G Zone came out of nowhere for me, honestly. This Generation Guard came out of nowhere, honestly. You're just playing a game, preparing for this, I think, 16 card G Zone. Yeah, 16 card G Zone was a thing, and then you watch an episode where the first person to use this damn thing called a G Guardian is Toka. What is a G Guardian? I was surprised. I thought this was like they were pulling some Konami season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh thing where like it only happens in the anime, which would really be upsetting, because yes, it would be very upsetting, because not everybody plays a meta clan. Not everybody has enough money to buy a $400 deck, and let alone Gear Chronicle is one of the most expensive clan. Is the most expensive clan now. A regular next stage right now, I'm getting off topic at the moment, but the regular next stage right now is $90 even on TCG Player. As of when I looked on their site 2 days from May 17th, 2016. 2 days from now, 2 days before now, I looked, and next stage is $90 even. This secret rare is $150, I think. That is very expensive. That is outrageous if you want to play this clan. That is very outrageous. You're not going to go out and buy the secret rare. You're probably going to pull it and be happy. But if you do if somebody wants to play this clan and somebody loves Gear Chronicle and how they work and stuff like that, with this 16 card G Zone, this is what I'm going to tie it into. The increase of the G Zone has spiked prices immensely. The short prints of some of these key strides have spiked or made these cards more than what they are actually worth. And I can guard and attack all day unless you have some type of guard restriction. But what I can't guard is the financial, responsibility of what I want to do in life and how I feed my hobby. You know where I'm coming from, again?
I definitely know where you're coming from, because you have the option to take your whole paycheck and spend it on whatever you like. But okay, if you have other responsibilities, those responsibilities are gonna come first before your hobbies. Anything extra that you have after taking care of your responsibilities, okay, it's
fair game.
Yes, fair game. You can spend as you like. You can spend as you choose to.
So back to this 16 card G Zone, which is actually very good. Why doesn't Bushiroad, fix some problems like Lambros? Lambros is kind of now creeping up there. Commander Thavis is now kind of creeping up there, in my opinion. That's just totally my opinion. These, in my opinion, $25, $35 strides are going to increase I feel as though they're going to increase to what they were when they sort of came out, the price range of 45 plus. Shiranui in the Generation Rare, when they first came out, was around the price range of $40 and up. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous with this 16 card G zone, and with these good strides and these awesome strides that give you these awesome advantages and these awesome skills that they throw into this. It does come with a cost, whether it be monetary or whether it be, like the responsibility, the cost of responsibility to get these cards, or to, play this or play that. Along with the advancement of the game, it's kind of like, oh man, shit, what do I do now? Back to what I was saying about the G Guardians. The G Guardians are now off the bat $10 in that price range or something like that. It's kind of getting out of hand to kind of play this game. But then again, I think it's kind of necessary, so they can slow down, who wants to actually play this and who doesn't. The G Zone increase and the role that it plays on the game, like I said, is very vital. As a double-edged sword technique to this, and that was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. There is 100 different ways that this can go in this game. Either people are going to, shy away from, playing this game in some aspects, or, not as many people are going to be well versed into how great and how complex and how personality driven this game can be, and this game is. But with advancements like, Generation Guard, and I want to play this deck, but this deck doesn't really do us great against this deck, and I can't really play this deck because of the price tag on this card, it's very outrageous. We did get something for people who, plays the meta deck or plays good decks now, who have their stuff that are, sitting on some very good key value cards. Because of the G increase and stuff like that, everything factors into the fact that not everybody is going to be sipping the same cup of tea. And with this G Zone increase and the role that it plays in the game, not directly, but the things that I did list that are indirectly relating to this game, it is very how should I say, is very sporadic in good ways and bad. So again, my question to you is, with these advancements in the game, like these good strides, like Gurgit giving plus 5k and making himself just like god level numbers and stuff like this, plus 5k giving these god level numbers and stuff like this, and how does this affect players, and how does this affect the game as a whole?
All right, my answer to that: how does the increase in the G Zone and partner cards like G Guardians affect players and the game as in its entirety? Okay, it makes more players hungry to actually go out and pay for these cards or get these cards. They become more competitive in a sense. All right, there's an increase in my G Zone. Oh, I can play more units. Okay, let me see how I can formulate my deck so I can utilize my G Zone or the cards in my deck to the best of my ability. All right, I can take a mix of cards that don't have the GB1 ability, or cards that have GB1 ability, or cards that utilize effects with triggers or effects with your perfect guard. Basically, everything. Majority of cards have an effect on the game, or while you're playing the game, they have an effect, and they allow you to do something. All right. like I was saying, it makes players hungry. I'm gonna run my deck this way so that I can take full advantage of my G zone, or I can take full advantage of the opportunity that presents itself with the cards in my hand. I can take full advantage of the plethora of support that has released for my clan specifically, or any clan for that matter, that you choose to play, and utilize it to fight my opponent. It's not coming down to just all right. I'm gonna play basic only GB1 cards. I'm not gonna mix it up. I'm not gonna play any limit breaks. I'm not gonna restrict myself. I'm gonna restrict myself to playing a certain way. No, you have the full ability to mix up your playstyle, because every player is different. I can choose to play Blade Master and Overlord in the same deck, whereas Blade Master can be my Forerunner, or Overlord can be my Forerunner. Not my Forerunner, but my avatar, if you
Main.
my main card,
Yeah.
my avatar, if you will. But my whole deck can be formulated to play for my strides, the strides that I use. That means that, okay, I'm gonna utilize different cards. Like, let's say I want to utilize Blade Master's Counterblast 1 when I stride over him. Counterblast 1 kill a great. Let me actually look at the card here. Give me a second. Blade Master's skill to Counterblast 1 and choose one.
I think he kills anything.
Yeah, Blade Master's skill to Counterblast 1 and retire any of my opponent's rear guards. That's powerful right there, right then and there. Okay, that's an effect that's gonna go off. Alright, so like I was saying, utilizing not only GB1 cards or limit break cards or cards that just have abilities in general, like it's astonishing. Like, I'm at a loss for words in a sense, where players that are coming into the game now, they're seeing, oh wow, look at that card there. That GB2G unit has that ability. What? That's unheard of. I literally just got into this game and it's crazy. Like, people that come in, new players that also, if they've heard of the card game, they may have watched the anime, or they may have watched or they may have played the card game and then proceeded to watch the anime. They may have heard or saw people playing, heard about the game, and invested some amount of time into it. Okay, they've done like a little bit of research. All right. Wow. Or they catch a glimpse of just one clan in general. Oh wow, this card is cool. I get to do this because I feel as though, gonna stray a little bit off topic here. If a new player sees the G Guardian being used in Cardfight Vanguard, they're gonna be like, "What is that? And what does it do?" They're gonna be naturally curious as to what it does, or the card game in general, because they see pretty cards, or the most hollowed out decks that players pay 400 and up for, not including sleeves. They pay 400 and up for, or they'll hollow out they'll hollow out their whole entire deck. Alright. These pretty cards, and I see something else being played. Oh, my opponent just, not my opponent, but one of the players just won the match because he played a certain card a certain way, because he utilized
what is this tying into?
So
in a sense,
this is tying into with G Guardians and the increase of the G Zone happening in Cardfight Vanguard. Players are gonna utilize more cards from the start of the game up until this point. There are hundreds of cards to choose from across different clans that may have not played as well that are now viable in this game state.
Mhm.
And that's
I it was it's funny that you would say that because what card is it? There is a grade 1 that in my gear arsenal I'm going to start using. It is a grade 1 that becomes a 9k attacker. I think I'm going to be using that card at 1 or so. Yeah, so here's it. Steam Fighter Disco. When his unit attacks the Vanguard, it gains +2 until the end of that battle. I heard I'm only using this, and I'm not using it yet. It's in my sideboard. It's in this box that I keep all my sleeved good particle potentially usable cards. So I heard that on card fighting over in Japan and in some areas of America, people are starting to do this grade 1 rush that is supposed to counteract Seabreeze or get their opponent closer to death grade when they rise to grade 2 and grade 3. That's not helping. It's not helping in anything. I'm getting off topic. This is going to be completely off topic. Off topic. Ugh. Wow. That's not helping anything. I love how people are starting to come up with crazy ways to change the game. But Vanguard is oddly balanced to unreasonable degrees.
Yeah,
There,
I can definitely attest to that. Whereas
yeah,
you have let's use my Overlord deck for an example. Okay, so in my Overlord deck, I play 8 critical, 4 draw, 4 heal. All right, that's standard. That's standard for a Kaido player. Okay, when I'm playing my matches, no matter how many times I shuffle, there always seems to be a weird thing that happens where I don't get any triggers until I either damage check or I draw for my beginning turn. That's weird to me. I'll have triggers back to back. Let's say I'll search for a card. I'll have triggers back to back before I search for a card. Before I go searching for that Overlord in the Overlord legend. And then when I shuffle, all my cards get mixed up, and my opponent cuts my deck, and then I do my drive checks. I don't see any triggers. That's strange to me. The power of such a powerful deck that with the Overlord, for instance, he restands if I'm in GB2 and I use his skill. He restands himself. That such a powerful deck like that loses steam if I don't have the pressure if I don't have the pressure of criticals.
yeah.
Like it just becomes a 26k with triple drive. Okay, I'm not getting any criticals. I gotta discard 3 cards to have them restand to potentially get 1 or 2 triggers, which is just like, what in the world is going on here? I need to really go back into the lab and see what's wrong with my deck entirely. Now, like as you were saying, Vanguard, certain decks, they're balanced. You're explaining that thought. Go ahead.
Oh no, not decks. I mean, the way Vanguard is made, I guess, in a sense, it's very balanced. All right, so down to we'll start with the triggers. I want to take away from what we're actually here to talk about to understand the basic composition of most decks or Vanguard in general, to my knowledge. We're going to start with the triggers. There's heal, there's draw, there's stand, and then there's critical. We'll exclude, for the sake of time, standing triggers, and that'll be about it. Because we all know what stands do. Stands on your turn, you stand a unit, give something +5. But Vanguard is balanced in the sense that draw triggers, if you have not seen Draw the Trigger's YouTube, their YouTube channel. Draw the Trigger had released I think it was a discussion, I guess. No, it was more like a blog or a documentary. A documentary is very good. Very good word to use. They've released a documentary with a whole bunch of numbers and a whole bunch of opinionative statements and some context of factual information that showed the different variants of draws, in what sense it's useful and in what sense it's not useful. And for what I took out of this documentary was that draws are not necessarily as useful as people would think they are. They're not bad, but they're not the greatest. Criticals, and I guess they said heals, which is always at 4, are better in the sense because they are both better defensively and better offensively. They have the best of both worlds. I disagree with this because sorry about that. I run 6 draw in my Kagero deck. I feel as though that's good because the way I composed my deck and the way I see my deck functioning against certain matchups is better. But getting back on topic, draws have 5k shield for a reason. If they had 10, if you hit a draw trigger and you draw into a draw trigger that's a free 20k guard. Wow, that's outrageous. Vanguard has made it so that that's not the case. Everything else has 10k shield except draw. This is something that everybody has noticed. This is not new information, but for new players, this is new information. Depending on how you make your deck, responses to this may vary. To continue on with this is critical triggers. Critical triggers are very offensive, but the defensive aspect of giving your opponent a unit that has now had a 5k buff is now, is challenging in most decks. Not every deck can laugh at a 5k buff and continue to beat on the opponent. Heal triggers, their uses. This whole thing is about G Guardian, so their uses. They heal opponent damage if you're able to. They get +5k if they're able to, and they're 10k shield when necessary. That's the same thing with critical triggers, only the fact is that they don't heal damage, obviously, because they're not heal triggers, but they do deal damage to your opponent if they are if it was allowed to go through. Stand triggers, they kind of do the same thing as critical triggers, but that's only if the attack goes through, then that's only 1 more damage. That's kind of the same as a critical trigger. They kind of do the same thing. One adds the same amount of pressure in my opinion. But the thing with Vanguard is every clan is almost made equal. The difference is the mechanic, how they construct the mechanic around the deck, and what set gets what support and how much support is needed, how much progression and how much modification that this clan gets. What I'm getting at is if you only get 1 card per turn, well, 2 cards per turn technically, based off of the grade that you're at, what makes you think that starting out with 5 cards, then draw into your 6, riding the grade 1, now having 5 cards in hand, putting out multiple grade 1s or putting out multiple units in your first couple of in your first ride phase, what makes you think that is very good? All right, your opponent is now left with less cards than they would have at the start of your ride phase. That's fine, but if they're able to apply the same pressure to you with a whole different grade, that is stupid. Why would somebody even suggest this? Why would somebody even think that this is like somehow the new meta? It's stupid. It's very stupid. The fact that you're wasting X amount of cards on your first ride phase to do X amount of damage to your opponent when now you have possibly less cards than your opponent now, significantly less. And now they're able to upgrade their Vanguard and throw out units that naturally now have more power than you. What is the point of this? And Vanguard is now, well, not now. Vanguard has always been a personality, a personal preference trading card game, but it now has a personality that whatever seems to be good is now spreading like a plague. Who was the first to do this? Actually, over in Japan, Saint Guard running 5 or 4 grade 3s. I mean, yeah, 5 or 4 grade 3s. Our team captain done this, and a couple of friends in my other circles have done this. It kind of works and it kind of doesn't. You know why? Because it does not work. It's not, Vanguard is not meant for that level of play. It's not meant for that mechanic to be used. Well, the natural mechanic of Vanguard to be used in this sense. You're supposed to have a set amount of grades inside your 50 card deck. You're supposed to start out with a set amount of cards, unless your deck actually has a mechanic too that it can compensate for this loss of grade that you now gain because you cut out a certain grade 2 or certain grade 1 or certain grade 3. Now, Vanguard doesn't really have that, that tech option or that tech support, as I'll say, that other card games, infamously Yu-Gi-Oh! You can tech in something in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like you can Gengar now, looking at the ban list for 2016, Upstart is at 1. You can still tech in this Upstart because Upstart is just another card in your hand. It's just like a phantom card in your hand. You can play it, get another card by minusing you 1,000 life points. But in Vanguard, there's things called damage checks. There's everything can deal damage because everything has 1 critical unless specified to have more or less. You have mechanics where you're just naturally able to restand. You're naturally able to give phantom damage. You're naturally able to do this. You're naturally able to do that. Vanguard is not meant to do out of the box things that aren't very innovative. I'll go back to the
unless they use a Crate Elemental unit, then you're kind of stuck with the clan that you have, in a sense.
Yeah.
If that clan doesn't do it, you find another clan that may or may not do that same thing that you want, or that idea that you envision. You find another clan that does it. Okay, you want a clan that restands and pressures your opponent. Usually, you go to play you go play Metalborg.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go play
Victor.
Or you go play Victor. All right, you want
Beast Eating.
You want BCD, or you just want any kind of Nova Grappler. I'm not gonna say Enigma because they don't have as much support right now. Okay, let's say you wanna get a whole lot of hand advantage, which you really don't want to play Oracle Think Tank. All right, you're gonna use some versatility here, and let's say you go play Gear Chronicle. You go play the top tier Gear Chronicle right now, which is the top tier Gear Chronicle deck for right now. You're gonna play that and basically get the most hand advantage. Get a lot of hand advantage at the same time as crippling your opponent.
Yeah, but no, just on that. You said something about going to play certain decks and certain clans. Yeah, that was what I was getting into with the fact that you can, to a degree, do this, but I'm talking about very drastic things, such as not playing. There was a deck profile that I seen a couple of years ago about It was the Darkstorm clan. The football people. Forgot what are they called? Spike Brothers.
Yeah.
Um, the guy said, "Oh, I'll run 16 crit."
What?
Even not being like well immersed into the game, I was like, "How are you healing if you go up against X matchup or this card or something like that?" He was like, "Oh, in the video, he's like, oh yeah, we don't play heals. Spike Brothers don't never play heals." And he was playing, Juggernaut before I think Rising Nova became a thing, before Dirty Picaro and stuff like that. What I was getting at is that very drastic things, such as running 4 grade 3s, such as 16, 19 grade 1s, or, just very odd things that go against the mechanic. All right, okay, you need to ride the next grade. Ripples. All right, so you said something that reminded me of ripples. You said something about like crayon elementals and stuff like that. People were running or thinking about running Twitter Run when ripples were still, kind of good, even though they got shot in the kneecaps by limiting Odysseus and I think it was another card that got hit or something like that. It was Odysseus and something else, I think. But people were still thinking about running 4 Twitter Run or 3 Twitter Run just to see the card, just for the eventuality that they run into this cancerous deck that was running around in the American, European, and Japanese circuit. Well, Asian circuit, because it's not just the Japanese, it's not just Europe who plays this, but it's Collective Vanguard. The wow, almost made that mistake. The Collective Card Fighter group. There's just certain things that go around, like the Grade 2 game. Again, this was very annoying. I got hit with this, and I was running Gear Chronicle, a full GB deck. It made me want to go play Nixie Legion with my Chronojet in order to counteract this Grade 2 game. But Bushiroad fixed it with Twitter on, but then again, they didn't fix it with Twitter on. So now they made Seabreeze, because who's going to stay on Grade 1? Who is going to ride this game out for these Trade Elementals or these certain cards that they release to take effect? But I'm gonna let you get back to your point with this. Certain things just cannot be done in Vanguard. Consequences will be, obvious. But for some people, they just think that shit is just gonna happen and it's gonna be peachy and creamy. No, it's not. No.
Okay, so I'm not gonna add anything else to that. Alright, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Alright, thank you guys for listening, watching. This is Yada and Jensen.